Hi everybody, this is Diane. I have a collective haul to show you, and it's not a big one, but we're going to try out a few of the things that I picked up. So a couple weeks ago, I went to the craft booth at the local vendor mall store, and I picked up a few things, not very many, but I had seen on Facebook that she was letting us know that she was adding more supplies to that tiny little booth. And I think the next time I go, I'm going to film the booth so you can see how small and how packed it is. But anyway, she was adding some new things, and I saw some Tim Holtz things in the picture, so I waited a few days. I didn't want to go on the weekend when it would be crowded, but I did go, and I didn't spend a lot of time, but I picked up just a few things. So let me show them to you. And I haven't had a chance to video this for you. And in the meantime, I placed an order with Walmart.com and with Amazon, so I can show you those things too. They also are small orders. So I got some individual papers. They were 50 cents each. So I limited myself because this little pile of 15 papers cost $7.50. Most of them are double-sided, so that's why I went for them, and I liked them too. So we have this diamond pattern with stripes on the back. Very cool. We have some very nice bright papers too. I love the cherry print, and I think I got all of the ones I found. They were just a pile of loose papers. And the strawberries, berries, raspberries, that's also a great one. This distressed background dot paper. Nice bright colors. Dots and stripes, more diamond pattern. I don't know the brand on these. This one has ladybugs and polka dots. I think we already saw that one. And then, like I said, I got all of the cherry ones that were there. Oh, this is a cardstock piece. So somewhere thinner paper. This is cardstock. And this is cardstock. Cardstock. I guess I put all the cardstock ones together. And then I love this distress one too, but it's not double-sided. So those are the papers that I got. And she also had stencils. Some of her prices are not great. So she charges $5 for one stencil. And that's probably, not terrible for, and these are new stencils, so it's not bad, but it's a vendor mall, used items. These were previously owned, pre-owned items, I should say, not used. Some of them were used and some were not. But anyway, $5 a stencil adds up pretty fast. And there was a whole collection of these brand stencils. LaviniaStamps.com. I'm not familiar with it. I sound pretty rough today. And my speech pattern is all over the place because my life is crazy hectic right now with my parents and other things going on. And I don't have a lot of time. I have an appointment I have to get to this morning, and I have more errands to run for my parents. And so I want to show you these things, and we're doing this morning before I leave the house. So anyway, I got these stencils. I really wanted more, but this was $15 just for these three. I love this one, and I did use it in the paper doll journals that I'm making. This was an interesting one. I picked this one out in place of some of the others just because it is a more delicate and intricate design, so it was different from the others. And this one I liked, and also the pattern, the pieces are smaller. The design is a smaller, like this. This one is a larger scale, I guess is the right word. I want to try some of these with you today. And last of all, from that booth, I got this. Now, I had one of these that was a Stampin' Up brand, and I loved it, and I will demonstrate this for you if you don't know what it is. It's a distress marker spritzer. This is a Tim Holtz one by Ranger, but it'll fit the markers I have. I had one of these, and then this part broke off or got lost, so I couldn't tighten the pen in it. So it was very difficult to use because I had to hold the pen at just the right position and use the bulb. So I kept it for a while and used it like that, but I gave up on it finally. So I don't know if any of my markers are juicy enough for this, because I haven't bought new markers in a long time. So this is to be used with watercolor markers. I don't know if it'll work with any other kind of marker, but distress markers I think are watercolor. But I'm gonna try it and hopefully it will work. Oh, I have to loosen the screw. Loosen it enough so your pen will fit in. And then you want to put the brush tip next to the nozzle and tighten it. I've got some paper here to try it on. So it's supposed to give a splatter effect. Sometimes it takes a few pumps to get it going. Or maybe it's not going to work. Maybe I need to buy, I see very light speckles. I don't know if you'll be able to see them, even if I hold the paper up. So it is very light, but it is happening. You probably can't even see that. There's some speckles right there. But with a fresh, moist marker, you would be amazed. Oh no, let's lose that piece right away here. Gotta get down and find it. Well, you've heard of Newton's law. The craft room law is that if you drop something, it doesn't just fall on the floor at your feet. It bounces somewhere. That requires taking your room apart to find it. So I'm going to have to find it later. I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it. But, you know, I'm going to try this one. I'm going to have to hold this like I did with my other one that was broken. There, this one's working. This must be a more moist marker. So that's pretty cool. You can just add a nice little splatter pattern to some backgrounds. And I will find that piece before I vacuum down here. Layla will help me. I'm bringing her here today. I also wanted to try these stencils, but I want to show you what else I got first. So from Walmart.com, I had seen, oh, I forgot who it was. Someone was doing a craft and they had some embroidered trim from the Pioneer Woman, and I had never seen it at my store, but she got it at Walmart.com. Excuse the froggy throat. So I went to Walmart.com and typed in Pioneer Woman trims or Pioneer Woman embroidered ribbon. I don't remember what I typed in, but it brought up a bunch, and they're big spools. They're 25 yards, I think. Yep, 25 yards of ribbon. So I think I'm going to have to cut some off and put them in bundles if you guys would like to purchase a bundle of these without having to buy a 25-yard spool. But this is a beautiful blue embroidered ribbon, and it's 0.62 inches, so it's just over half an inch. And I think they're all the same width. And then this one, very pretty. I took the plastic off of these so I could let you see a nice strip of them. I love this one. I think this one is my favorite. Of course, it's pink. And there may have been some that I didn't purchase because having 25 yards on a roll, they weren't super cheap, but it was a good bargain for the amount that you get. And I love embroidered ribbon, and it is hard to find, especially vintage. These aren't vintage, but they're gorgeous, and they work just as well as vintage ones. Now this one is a piece of fabric with crochet edging. Very homespun looking. And this is the same thing with a different color, different print on the fabric. And that's it. I got 6. And I love every single one of them. Can't wait to use them. And the last order that I did was with Amazon. Again, I saw another crafter, and this one was, I do know, it was Carrie, the paper monkey. And she was making cards inspired by Carla Frisell. And you know, the cards that Carla makes with the children, the illustrated children's illustrations from books of children and animals. That was all messed up, but you've seen Carla's cards, and I've made some based on Carla's cards, and Carrie was doing that too. But Carrie had something different in her cards. She had like a rickrack strip, and she said it was from a die, but she didn't say where she got the die. But I just thought, well, I mean, zigzag is pretty a common shape, so let's just see. I went to Amazon and typed in rickrack dies, paper dies, and I scrolled through what they popped up based on that hint, and I got these. It was kind of hard to tell what I was going to get with the die on these. They looked confusing to me. Is it all one piece? But if it is one piece, I could cut it apart and have the rickrack. But it looked to me in the little projects that they had that they were individual pieces. And it was cheap. This is a no-name brand, so it's probably made in China. So it was cheap. So I do have some cut out, but I'm going to let you watch the magic happen. Whoop. Just place the die on the paper. We'll put some shims in it. Now look at this. All of these little zigzags will just fall right out of this paper. And I have this too. I could cut around that, leave a frame, and glue that to something, and that would be a fun card. But look at all these little zigzags in different sizes, widths. And they look like rickrack trim on Carrie's cards. And so super easy. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strips with that one pass through with my big shot. So I did use the other ones also. I have to see them all, of course. And I wanted them in different colors. So I have this pretty blue. And that's this one. And that one is also a zigzag, but it has a longer stride. Let's call it that, a longer stride. And I cut that one out in yellow. I cut the first one out in red the first time. And they do have stitching lines on them. You know, the embossing looks like stitching. So that's pretty cool. Just a fun detail. And then this one, the scallop one, I cut that out in the blue. And this one is just straight lines, but they have the stitching on all around. Aren't they cool? So I have all of these leftover pieces that I can do something with if I want to. Also, Carrie was adding die cut numbers, and I thought her numbers looked bigger than I have die cut numbers, a Tim Holtz set, and they were all connected like these are connected. I could twist these and make them come apart, but I don't want them to come apart. I want them to stay like this. But my Tim Holtz numbers were all connected with that little tiny piece of metal, and it seemed like every time I used it, another number came loose, which is fine. It's supposed to be used separately. The numbers are supposed to be used separately, but I wanted them together. So anyway, I got this because I thought they were a little bigger, and they might be. It ended up being a little smaller than I expected, but they also have these designs impressed. If you've seen the old-fashioned numbers with the lines through it, I think that they're usually in black when you see them. I think they're really cool. I might take this part off. It has the numbers that turn, the letters that turn these into ordinal numbers, so that would be first, second, third. You know, it has those letters there. So I might just take that off and use it by itself when I want to. But I did cut them. I cut this whole piece in red. And they're big enough. Can you see the lines in that? So that's going to be fun to play with, especially if it'll stay together, if it doesn't come apart. It feels a lot sturdier in that aspect than the Tim Holtz one, but I know his was made to break it apart. And then I couldn't resist when I saw this, and it was inexpensive enough that I went ahead and ordered it, and I cut it out in this pink opalescent cardstock. Isn't that pretty? I'll probably only use it when I, you know, in my Disney journals that I made for my daughter and myself, but I figured it was worth it. So that's what I got. I'm very excited to make some of those Carla cards, that's what I'll call them, with the numbers and these strips. I wonder if these are the dies that Carrie had. Carrie, if you're watching this, can you let us know? I will leave a link for the dies, for all three dies actually, the castle, the numbers, and the strips. And they're from Amazon. I wish I knew how to be an Amazon, oh, I forgot what they're called, but where I would get a little bit of kickback, where it doesn't cost the customer anymore, but the person who leaves the link gets a little bit of cash. I don't know how to do that. So let's try this stencil, because I send you to Amazon a lot, don't I? I'm just going to use one color of ink so I don't have to change brushes and whatnot. So I'll use my vintage photo. That's what this brush is for. This is the one I used in the paper doll journals. I only used the one because I didn't want to open them all before my video. Before this video. So that's what that looks like. I think it would look better in green, but that's a nice design. Maybe these were previously used. I don't know if this is the original packaging. It might be. These look like little seed pods, like poppy pods. And that's what that one looks like. I love it. And I'm quite curious about how this one's going to look. Flip this over. Got to get the full effect, because this one isn't just a full pattern, it's a designed pattern with some empty space, so I want to see what it looks like. Okay, here we go. That's so pretty and delicate. Very lovely. So I'll try to go back to that craft booth before too long, and so I can take a video for you and maybe, you know, pick up a few more things if I see any I want. But I've been through it. I spent a long time going through all of the baskets and things that are there when it was still a new booth. So when she adds things, I don't know where the new things are. I don't want to look through everything again. Wait till you see the video. Everything is just so packed. But I could tell where some of the new things were when I went this time. And I didn't get any Tim Holtz stuff except for this. That might have been picked over before I got there. But there were some things like the 3D stuff that you would use in a trinket box, or what do you call those things? Anyway, things I wouldn't use. And I don't want every Tim Holtz thing I see, but I do like a lot of his stuff, so I was curious about it. But I found some cool stencils. And this, I'm gonna have to buy myself some fresh markers. And what else did I get? This and this and this. I mean, this and this. Got something else there. I already showed it to you. Didn't I get something else there? Oh, the paper. All the papers. Yeah, so that was fun. And getting these items in the mail this week was fun. So thanks for coming along and taking a look. I am going to, at some point, I don't know when, I'm going to cut yard lengths of these 6 ribbons and put them, maybe 2 yards each, and put them in a little kit for you if you're interested in those. So you don't have to buy 25 yards and you have a nice sampling. So thanks for watching today, and I will be back when I have a chance, whenever that happens to be. I'll see you then. Have a creative day. Bye.